Views from the friend zone. I'm trying to reach the end zone. You think I'm kinda sweet and you wanna be friends though? It's cool though. Just don't try to play me for no fool, yo. Views from the friend zone. I'm trying to reach the end zone. You think I'm kinda sweet and you wanna be friends though? It's cool though. Just don't try to play me for no fool, yo.
Yeah. Welcome to another.
My bad, bro.
Hey guys, sorry, got a little startled from the popping of the Moscato.
It's a good time, y'all. Good time.
You know, happy Sunday, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Wanna celebrate everybody out there enjoying themselves, living life, good life. You know what I mean? We gotta give a special shout out to the Breakfast Club and Charlemagne the God. They gave us a shout out on national radio, showed us love.
Yeah.
They appreciated what we got going on, what we was talking about. So I want to send love and shout outs to them if they're listening. You know what I'm saying? I hope they are. You know what I'm saying?
Watching
so,
us.
Happy Sunday, y'all. We in the thick of thought season, so I hope everybody feel good. They out there
thought season,
giving the body, giving to some of the body that is gonna get. You know what I'm saying? Like always, it's your boy Real Talk Marv. I'm gonna have everybody introduce themselves, starting to my right.
Oh, my bad.
You're my right.
Yeah, Sensei, a.k.a. Open Shirt Poppy. The shirt is open today, y'all. What's up?
Yes. And then our guest.
Yes, hi guys. Vero G. I'm so honored to be here with you guys. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Welcome.
It's your boy Cliff Brockman.
Yes. So, as always, you know what I'm saying, we're going to discuss, some interesting topics and discuss what's going on, the climate of everything going outside. But you know what? Vera's a very cool artist. I got to rap with her earlier. She got a lot going on, so we're going to give her a couple minutes to plug what she got going on and stuff. So go ahead.
Okay. Wow, where we start? Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, so many things.
Okay.
Well, first and foremost, I just want to thank you guys again for having me on the show.
Oh, no problem.
I'm a loyal fan since I guys met you on Facebook, actually.
Yeah.
And I love what you guys do. Keep up the great work and keep on what you're doing. Yeah.
Thank you.
Right.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome, guys.
Appreciate the love.
Also, I'm not sure if he listens yet, but shout out to RJ Barrett coming to the Knicks. You know what I'm saying? That's
welcome
gonna be
to
the
New
future.
York City, boy.
But let's get back to Vera. I
Okay,
just thought about that. But go ahead.
It's all good, baby. It's all good.
Yeah.
So as we speak, I have a couple things I'm working on as of gigs and shows. Actually, one of my shows I have is called the Vero G Spotlight TV Show.
Yes.
And I'm so honored with my big applause. Yes, I'm
Yes,
excited.
yes.
I had to put it in there. I'm excited.
Yes.
No,
That's good.
No, definitely. We just actually we did our first show on January this year, and we've been doing shows since that time. We have amazing talent, independent artists we have on there.
Yeah. And it's on TV, y'all. So she's gonna let us know where we can consume it as well.
Definitely as well. Yeah, definitely. I'm excited. Oh my god. Okay, so real quick. So it's called the Vero G Spotlight TV Show. We have a platform for all independent artists out there who want to get a shot. It's their time to shine. That's the motto of the show.
So independent artists out there, link up to Vera G,
Yeah.
Diva and Diamonds on IG, right?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes.
And then also you can reach out to us, and then we'll plug you also
Yeah,
to
definitely.
Vera G. So you know what I'm saying? We out here working, but go ahead.
Yes, definitely. No problem. So a big shout out to my management, JM Empire Media. Why am I messed that up? Sorry.
Don't be nervous.
Ooh, you got me.
Take
Wait,
it easy.
Oh, I heard something.
That's right.
You're a little nervous.
The wine, baby. The song's like, woo. No, but besides that, a big shout out to him, my amazing team, DJ Chef. He's amazing. I love him.
Yeah.
My team overall. Like I said again, it's a TV show platform for all independent artists out there. We actually have July 10th, the next tape for that show. And we also have another thing coming up after that. August 17th will be at the West End Lounge.
Okay.
And we're gonna have is affiliated with sponsored by J.K. Smith Entertainment.
Okay.
And we're working coincide together for two shows in one actually. The first one's called Heatwave Summer Showcase, which is it's a platform for artists to perform and stuff like that. And we also have another show that same night, which is called Rock the Mic Cypher / Battle. So with that,
I like the hip
Do
hop.
you battle?
No, I'd rather watch it. I want to be a part of it. I don't want to be ripped to shreds.
Shout out to my sister Nunu now. She's heavy in the battle community.
In the Smack. She's the first lady of Smack.
You know URLs, them events.
I heard about that. Yeah.
So
Okay.
music wise, would you say you're more of a singer, more of a how would you describe your music?
It's like a blend. I don't want to say like particularly one genre because I like to like always mix it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I would say just more hip hop, R&B, pop. So just a little bit of collusion of everything in there.
Okay.
Cool.
Definitely.
So we're gonna jump into the show. Before we jump into the show,
Okay.
another thing we noticed during the week, me and Open Shirt Poppy watched the draft.
He was out there watching
And then
the draft.
Oh,
this was the first time, right, that we watched the NBA draft, and there was so many fathers in the young men's lives. And
Yeah, that's a big
and
deal.
as black men, we're so proud. Oh, you know, before that, hold up. Got a shout out to Greedy Gut. She was supposed to be here, but things happened. But she'll definitely be on the next time. Greedy Gut, we miss you. We want to see you back on the show as soon as you can. So shout out to her.
100%.
Hopefully
But,
your mom gets better.
Yeah, to back up to what we was talking about, it was so many young men whose fathers was in their lives, and these young black men were crying in their fathers, arms and stuff like that.
But
And
hold
as
on.
black men, hold on.
Okay.
As black men, we don't get to see that image, right? Because the stereotype is that black fathers are absentee. So
stereotype,
these are black fathers who build up their sons to be future millionaires. One after the other, after the other, after the other. And I do feel like the presence of their father is going to help them most likely not be taken advantage of, because a lot of athletes squander their millions. But go ahead, what you was going to say?
I'm glad you said that, the stereotype, because that's what it is. It's just a
Stereotype.
stereotype, all right? There's plenty of black fathers in their children's lives,
Yes.
all right?
That's a
They
fact.
try to perpetuate that, but it's not true, okay? I mean, you have issues in every ethnicity with fathers and stuff like that. Fathers always get the short end of the stick. no matter
Exactly.
what,
Father's Day
you
was
know
the
what
week
I'm saying?
before, and the buzz was a little
It's
kind of weak.
different.
But you know what? Another thing I want to point out too is that stereotypes, right? I feel like the stereotypes of other races don't get magnified as much as our stereotypes. You know what I'm saying? So like the black father not being there, there's memes about, oh, this is me and Father's Day with the guy empty kind of thing.
Wow.
And we make fun of those kind of things, but other people's stereotypes don't get magnified that way.
But the beauty of the draft was not just as having the father's presence, is that how the parents invested in these kids from early, investing, which
Sacrifice.
is key.
Sacrifice.
Because like a lot of times, sometimes me being a new parent, right? You just want the best for your kid, but when you seen the guys, everybody that wanted, they was crying because they know the sacrifice and dedication
That their
of their
parents
father,
have.
what their father did for them. They took some of the fathers were pro athletes. They took a step back and said,
Said,
you
"I'm
know
not
what?
trying
John Morant's father was supposed to
You
go
know-
overseas, and then his son was coming, and he said, you know what? I got to be there for
And
my
he said,
son.
Josh said, my father is my biggest hater,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that motivated
But to
him.
fuel
He
him,
did.
yeah.
to fuel him.
It's like a lot of parents, they took a step back and made the sacrifice, which was a beautiful thing. And I like ESPN actually gave them the time and segment to let them get the dedication.
Yeah.
Because it could have easily just been, okay, your father want to say a few words and keep it moving.
Yeah.
But ESPN seen something special going on, and every person that
They
came
was
up with
all
their
mad
father,
emotional, yo.
Yeah,
I never
ev-
saw, like, the first
everybody
3
who
picks
came
all
up
cried.
with everybody who came up with their father, even the moms, they let ESPN let that dedication be known, and which was important.
I want to wrap this up only because we're like leaving our guests out.
No, I'm
but
just
I want to say, but I want to say this one thing, and then we'll get into the show. But another beautiful thing about that imagery was we allow black men to cry on TV to show emotion.
Yeah.
And it was a beautiful thing. It wasn't like, we didn't emasculate them and make them feel like they was weak. We allowed them to cry in their father's arms, right?
Yeah,
the man
100%.
that was supposed to protect them all their lives, or until they was adults and able to protect themselves, was there. And I'm always about imagery, right? Because what we project is what people consume, right? So if we have more positive images out there, that's like role models. Now it's a kid out there like, man, you see what R.J. Barrett and his father did? You see what John Moran and his father did? Garland's father did? Me and my dad could do the same thing, right?
Yeah.
Because as positive images get less and less, especially in the minority communities, we replace them with reality TV. We don't have Cosby shows no more, Living Single and things like that. Even Girlfriends
You
on
need those
BT and
images.
stuff like that.
definitely
We
do.
lose those. And what
need
do we replace them with? Ratchet TV, and get your money how you get it. But kids are watching, right? There's more kids out there who want to be a Kardashian than they want to be like what the Cosby family is, right?
Yeah.
Because that's what we replaced it with.
Fact.
But we're going to get into the show. The first topic, we're going to talk about talent versus image, which kind of plays into what we're talking about, where it's just like sometimes the image, a woman looking a certain way, guy looking some way, will perpetuate and further someone's career over the talent. And what made me think about this topic was I was listening, shout out to Power 105, and then also I saw it elsewhere, where Beyonce's father himself said that
Yeah, I seen
if
that.
his daughter wasn't light skinned, her career wouldn't have been as good.
Wow.
Kelly Rowland is very talented as well, but her being a brown skinned woman, she don't get that kind of shine.
He said, yeah, that's why she wasn't as big or something.
That's why she
like
wasn't
that.
as big, which is crazy, right? But we're still in a day and age where image sometimes, is projected more than talent. I've been in a situation where I felt in my group what I was doing, I had as much talent, but I'm a big boy. I wasn't quote unquote sexy like the other people and stuff like that. And my talent, what I brought to the table, was kind of pushed to the back and wasn't appreciated. So it just made me think, like, sometimes we are stuck with talent not being recognized as much as image. So the first sub question on that topic, like we're talking about talent versus image.
What's the rapper who had a video shoot recently, and they
Tory
tried to
Lanez.
replace Tory Lanez, right?
Yeah.
They tried to replace the dark skinned lead chick in the video with a
With
light skinned
light-skinned.
chick, and he wasn't having it. You know,
So the first question is, recently Beyonce's dad said that Beyonce's success would be dismissed if she was a darker girl. It's also stated that Adele would have been an even bigger star if she was a size 4 versus the size 12, 14 that Adele is, right? We've always heard that, like, wow, if Adele looked like Taylor Swift, she'd be even a bigger global star, which is sad.
I don't know how, because she's huge.
She's huge now, but
No pun intended.
but Adele herself said that.
She's a big
Like
star.
she's been singing for such a long time, a lot of doors was closed on her because it was just like, wow, she sounds amazing, but that's not just how I wish she looked a little different. So of course she got passed up a couple of times until she broke through.
I became a bigger fan of Adele when I saw her rap. She was rapping Nicki's verse.
And
I
car
think
car something karaoke.
Oh, she was killing
What is
it.
it? Is it
Carpool.
carpool
Yeah.
karaoke?
Okay.
So just to repeat the question, what are your thoughts that Beyonce father saying that she was dark skinned, she wouldn't have got the same love, or if Adele was a size 4 versus a size 12, 14, whatever size she is. So what do you think? You're an artist.
Yes.
You proudly proclaim being a BBW and
Yes,
stuff like
plus
that.
size, curvy,
Yes.
community,
So-
represented, baby. Yeah.
Exactly, right? So you tell us how that has affected your career, and what do you think about that?
I so fully understand what you're saying with your point of view as being, women in general. I mean, in the industry, we get pushed a lot aside because, we're women and we get overlooked a lot.
Yeah.
So especially being women of my stature, we're basically being plus size, and for example, my voice, they'll mix it with somebody who is maybe a size 8. Oh, that's perfect. We want this image, we want this look for young girls out there to be like role models for that. But
Yeah.
no, that's not modern day.
Yeah.
Women like my size are like the normal. That's the norm.
That's what the average size in this country is 16.
That's what I'm saying.
But if you let the media, the average size in this country is 16. But if you let the media tell you, you think it's size 4, size 2.
Or just social media, and especially you let that tell you. You
Yeah.
think you got a waist
But-
like this.
Go ahead.
I think the stereotype about the images is important, but if you talented, eventually it's gonna come to light. Look at Missy Elliott. Missy Elliott was
But Missy also went through that. But go ahead.
Missy Elliott, when she first started, she was behind the scenes. A lot of people didn't want her in the front because she was big and stuff, whatever. But if you're that talented and you believe in yourself, people is gonna recognize. It's gonna come to light.
So-
it's gonna come to light.
No, yeah, but it's a hard. Trust me, the ceiling hits first.
much harder.
Yeah, it's
harder.
definitely much
So let me
harder, but
give you
it
let me
definitely
give you an
come to light.
example, and please don't attack me for saying
I'm
this.
not. Go ahead.
If J-Lo looked like Missy with the talent that J-Lo brings to singing, J-Lo's a great dancer, but the talent that she brings to singing, would J-Lo have blown up like
I
that?
still gotta agree with you on this.
Right?
100%.
I was hoping you being Latina, you didn't attack me for that, but...
No, 100%. I agree with you.
And my wife's a big J-Lo fan, so I'm probably gonna get my ass whipped tonight. But I said
Are
that
you
to say
saying J Lo is not as
J-Lo's
talented,
talented.
as you would think?
J-Lo's talented, but to me,
Her
J-Lo singing is not.
I wish we had sound effects.
Well, she didn't start out singing. She started out dancing
Yeah.
on Living Color.
yeah.
So that's her first
But
thing.
like you said, Missy was writing and creating for people for mad long before.
But maybe
she got
Missy
started.
didn't want to be in front of the camera either.
No,
You
she
gotta
wanted
remember
to.
that.
She wanted to. She wanted
wanted
to.
to.
She said that. She wanted to. But
They
a
kept-
lot of she was so talented. A lot of people that I was working with was like, just do this. And then one day she just like, I'm just gonna do me. And
Yeah.
then it worked out.
Yeah.
And now
But there's plenty of times. Another example from the early '90s, I obviously would progress. I'm doing it and doing it well.
Oh,
that was a big girl who
remember
vocals
that?
was on that. That was a big girl.
Oh,
I was
what?
a
I remember
daddy
that.
and I know your name. All of that was a big
Throwbacks.
girl who did that, right? But in the video and everything, they had these small model girls singing her line,
I remember that. Wow.
right?
So you
it's-
feel they should have had her in the main role in that
but
video?
that's how
No,
when,
she could've been
when
singing it,
the talent is being pushed back versus
Yeah.
image. Even Dream Girls, right? Jennifer Hudson's
Jennifer Hudson,
character
yeah.
was the strongest voice.
Effie.
Effie, right? But they
Loved
pushed the
it.
Beyonce,
Yeah.
The image.
right? Because of the image.
Well, let
kind of
me
stuff like that.
answer it.
Yeah.
The question basically, it's clear. Like it's no, there's no questioning it. But that's a fact. It's always been that way.
So the question is, are we progressing?
Exactly.
Do we still got much more to further?
we absolutely have further to go. But have we progressed? Yes, because you have people like Adele's, for example, who may not portray the cookie cutter image that you would expect, but you can't deny her talent. And I must say, it's more of a female thing because as a males, it don't really matter how you
Right,
look.
because
it don't matter
even-
how you look.
Yeah,
Your
because-
talent is.
A big guy like me,
Producer.
I could be presented as a teddy bear, right? So some ladies are gonna love the teddy bear kind of stuff like that. But we're extremely hard on women,
It's
right?
usually for the
Because we
women.
severything women in everything that they
True.
do,
Everything
no matter
that they
what.
do.
And that's a problem because a lot of talented women are get pushed to the back because we quote unquote she's not sexy enough or her sexiness is niche or niche or whatever you want to say it, right?
I mean, I feel like we made progress, but we're not 100% there yet. It's still a work in progress in general because what happens is right now with social media, you don't really need anybody for anything. You literally could wake up and start your own empire.
Yeah.
But it's certain levels when you do want to talk to them labels and stuff, they're gonna be like, you know what? No disrespect, you gotta lose 40, 50 pounds.
Yeah.
Because if they're gonna, it's a gift and a curse. If they're gonna invest millions of dollars on you, saying you need to lose 40, 50 pounds, you might feel like, who's this person do? But it's an investment. It's the same way with health insurance when you get hired for a job. Sometimes a job will look at you funny because they be like, listen, you a big dude. The insurance might be crazy on your part because that you might not
Yeah.
get hired. It's just
They
something.
do insure you.
It's something that it'll never go away. But with social media, the beautiful thing about social media, you could wake up and be a star yourself now.
But
So,
but
the
the
we are
problem
making progress though.
You think, and this is what I want you to think now. So with the idea that you can be a star yourself, right? But now with social media opening up the platform, now there's more platform for everyone. So it's easier for a Cardi B, someone who looks like Cardi B, to have that talent. You look kind of good. Your funny personality, boom to the front. It works twofold, right? Because now everyone has a platform, but it's still now it's more people easier to be discovered that way. So you
think of
still
it like
compete.
this. Think of it like this. What's the oldest selling
Profession, prostitution.
profession? Okay, so when bread and water won't sell, sex will. Right?
100%.
That's a fact.
That's a
Yeah.
fact.
It's always gonna sell. So, and there's a lot of talented people out there.
Yeah.
A lot of talented people. So I would say, well, what's gonna get you over the next person? Because y'all both got talent. Oh, you sexier.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's not only I can profit off your talent. I need something that's gonna take me to another level.
That's a
So
fact.
your
That's
sexiness
a good
is
point.
now with the company is like, okay, we can promote her talent.
Yeah.
Because talent is there, she great voice, but now we can also promote her sexiness.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Which
That's
is
what
good.
it is.
But so let me bring it back to you,
Okay.
Vera, right?
Yeah,
so
sure.
my issue that I have with this, right, is we just put out the fact that the average size in America is size 16, right? Which means there's more size 16s
Shout out
than
to the
size
big
2.
girls.
So,
Shout
but
out.
my question is, right? Why are we as a society
Yes.
so obsessed with something that we don't look at? The next question I had is,
Okay.
have we as a society been totally obsessed with image over talent, i.e. the Kardashians, right? Because the Kardashians don't look like the average woman,
No,
but
out
so
of
many
proportion.
women who don't look close to the Kardashians are obsessed to try to be a Kardashian. So why are we letting the representation that's not necessarily representing us as a whole drive our ideal. So.
Honestly, I say it's just false advertisement. Like I said, these young girls out there, they idolize these girls. Like you said, Kim Kardashian, the family, they're all made of plastic, guys. Like honestly, down the line, they go home and they have let's say weeks of surgery, and they have to go home and rest. And the people don't see that behind the scenes. They just see, it's just a front. Oh, I liked it because she has a big ass and nice body shape, and I want to be just like that when I'm 10 years old. 10 years old, you just want to focus on school and stuff like that. Yeah,
I don't think people remember, if you watch the Kardashians, what Kylie looked like before
she changed. Yes,
there's no way genetically what Kylie turned into now. Kylie's beautiful, but if you saw her when she was 12, 13,
she had no
there
lips.
was no way
Nothing.
she would turn into what she turned into.
And they don't
she
say
went
all
under
the
the knife.
surgery.
She went under the knife. We're talking about 14, 15 years old and got
Exactly.
so much done, which is scary.
And the mom is
Right?
accepted.
Because
That's worse.
Kylie's
The mom
21
is
now,
the
22.
mastermind.
Yeah, of course.
Kylie's a
Yeah.
billionaire, right?
Yeah.
21, 22 billionaire is beautiful, but it's just like at 14, 15, she started having procedures done.
That's wrong.
How do you tell your little girl, like you have a teenage little girl, and thank God she don't have image issues that I know of. You have a little girl that's way baby. But how do you as a dad tell your little girl like, yo, you're beautiful the way that you are, when people that they could technically aspire to started having surgery at 13, 14?
And has become a billionaire because of it.
A billionaire because of
That's
it.
the tough part.
Don't get it twisted.
That's the
Kylie's a
tough part.
hustler. Kylie used her shine to build, and shout out to Kris Kardashian, the moms, but it's still
But
driven
it's hard to promote
on
beauty
imagery.
products
Exactly.
if you aren't
Exactly.
showing.
But it's still
what
built
people
on
think beauty
imagery
is.
that we're making kids get bullied about because they don't look like.
Yeah.
That's a misfortune.
Well, let me tell you, to answer the question initially,
Yeah.
what I must say is, why do we admire entertainers and stars and stuff, right? Because they're supposedly something that we're not.
Yeah.
So to answer your question about, because just the average size of a woman, or the average size in the country, period, size 16, whatever, people don't want to be that. Yes,
Yes.
that is a fact.
Yes.
That's the average. They want to be
That's
like
a good
the stars.
point you brought up.
The
That's a good point you
entertainers,
brought up.
because
Yes.
they have all the money. They're in front of the
Yeah.
cameras.
Yeah.
You know, they look a certain way, whether it be work or no work, whatever. So it's like people like, oh, I want to be that. You know what I mean? So that's why they make these changes and stuff. And it's hard to answer your other question. What do I do to encourage my daughter in this plastic society? I constantly tell her she's beautiful. I constantly tell her I love her. You know,
That's good.
she's
That's
very because even when I was young, I had a lot of acne issues or whatever, and it's passed down.
Did
to
that
her.
bother? Did that
Huh?
bother you? Because this is my best friend, right?
Oh, okay,
In case you didn't know.
No,
Yeah, he always
I'm
goes
just saying.
personal.
No. This
Good
is my
God.
best friend, right?
Okay.
I'm talking about from kindergarten
Yeah.
Oh,
to
man.
now, right?
30 years.
But
30
I
years.
still, what I say is, I was with him when his acne stage and stuff like that. But I never felt like it bothered you like that.
Well, no, I mean, like anybody else, I had times where I'm by myself and I was like, damn, this shit look bad, whatever, you know. But I was always a confident person,
Yes.
and I was always a jokester. So
Yeah.
you gonna come for me for
That-
my acne? I'm gonna make you feel bad.
That's what saved me as
You know
a
what I
big
mean?
boy, right?
I'm gonna clown you.
I'm witty. So you crack jokes on me, I crack
love
jokes on you
that.
and
You
stuff you
gotta
didn't think
be.
about. But that's the
But-
survival thing.
And it's harder for girls though.
But
That's what I'm saying.
The
It is
thing
harder.
about it is, society is and especially when you're raising a daughter, like, you know, I would tell my daughter, you know, you gotta look and feel what makes you feel good about yourself at all times, because society, you always want to look like somebody. You always it's social media, it's the TV screen, it's everything. You could tell your daughter a million things that, oh, you want to go to boom, but it's like, everybody, if she has a friend that's going, yo, I'm going to get plastic surgery, I'm going to do this, whatever, too, she might want to follow that friend, whatever. You just got to encourage her, listen, love yourself for what you got. Just be,
I wish
thankful.
I wish Greedy
you
Gut
know?
was here, because Greedy Gut pushes a little butts matter too kind of movement and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But it's about the natural look. So let me ask you a question. You're self-proclaimed BBW. Your personality is so bubbly and stuff like that. What example or what you've been through that allowed you to but accept yourself, exude that confidence, accept yourself the way that you are.
I say honestly, it was in the past years ago. I was really, you know, because I wasn't always skinny and average, you know, looking woman. I mean, even child and then teenager. Those forget
Kids
that.
can be cruel.
Don't get me started with that. Yeah, that's the worst. But no, going back to that, I mean, I realized I utilized that in my music and in my poetry, and down the line, I realized after having a child, you know what, I'm not perfect, but I have to love myself as a woman.
Yeah.
And if a man's gonna accept me, he has to accept my intelligence before anything.
Yeah.
And then besides the outer beauty, that's fine, but it has to be both inner and outer beauty.
Yeah.
And that's why, as a plus size woman, that's why I realized, and then I started doing modeling, and that's what the confidence was building up. Because I said, wait a minute, I'm a woman of my stature, my size, and everything, and I could rock this outfit. I'm gonna kill it. So
Yes.
that's why ever since doing modeling, it gave me, it boost that confidence that women, we need that, not just for modeling, but in general.
Yeah.
As women out there, we have to have that self-esteem up and about. We can't be cocky about it. We have to appreciate ourselves and love ourselves first.
I got a PSA.
Definitely, man.
For the women out there. Listen, ladies. It ain't gonna last forever. All right. So
You have a window.
If you are empty inside, come 45, 50. It's lasting a little longer now. Maybe 50, 55. Unless you're gonna be getting these surgeries annually, you gonna it's not you gonna look bad, but you're gonna get old. We all get old. It's
Yeah.
a fact of
Oh,
life.
man.
So you gotta have more
There's
substance
something
in
called
you.
gravity.
You
Gravity
gotta have
will
more
take into
substance
effect.
to you, because them young girls is gonna constantly keep coming up. And if you want your man to value you more than just what you have to offer physically, you better have something inside that actually attracts him.
Yeah.
And I
You know what I mean?
I have to add something also too, that I think like women that have gone through plastic surgeries for a certain amount of time, they're not happy inside. I feel like they feel, like you just said, empty. They feel like, well, I gotta fix this, then I gotta fix something else. And then what happens? They go to the show Box. Have you seen Botch? I think
Botch,
Botch,
yeah.
on the E. And you see them, they look deformed. Why? Because of years of surgery. They invested so much money, they couldn't utilize themselves for therapy.
Look at Little Kim. She's
I was just gonna talk
Oh
about
no,
Lil' Kim.
not her, man.
And she's so talented.
Yeah.
She was
she's
so
good.
beautiful before
Yeah,
any
before the
surgery.
surgery.
And then
man.
Any surgery.
she's still beautiful
I
in
don't
her own
understand.
way, but it's just like the years
not
of
the
it.
Nah,
I'm the years of
she
it.
look
It's just
crazy. She look crazy.
she's so beautiful in her
she's a
own
nice,
way.
She's a nice person and all that, and she was the first. Honestly, she was the first female that said, "Listen, I'm fucking, and this is what I'm about." You know what I mean? That was her attitude.
But she exuded confidence on those records.
She looked
Yeah.
crazy
Right?
now.
Yeah.
But you can see she wasn't.
Yeah.
She wasn't that.
She looked
Because
crazy.
she did all this
I
stuff
also
she didn't
blame
need to
that
do.
on society's standards, right? She felt her nose was too rounded, so that was the first thing she did. But you're a black woman. That's our features, right? And then after that, it just becomes this, that, the other, and then you start looking like you can't even recognize yourself. So the last question on this topic, talent versus images. Do you think talent will ever surpass image when measuring the impact on society?
Who's gonna take that?
I mean,
Go ahead, Clifford.
We'll have you, right?
Okay, me. Okay, honestly, I think overall it will, because like you mentioned before, talent. If you have a beautiful voice and you could oversee the person outside of it, then you know what? End of the day, people are gonna appreciate that more, and you're real about it. You know, image is nothing. I mean, just for the moment, it's just temporarily.
Yeah.
Like you said, when we get old, everything falls apart, right?
Yeah.
So for the moment, just if people have talent and A&Rs and stuff like that, they hey, I'm gonna put this person on. I'm gonna put them on this label. You know what? Give them that credit.
Yeah.
You know, that's beautiful. You know.
You know
the
what?
industry is not.
I know.
The
We know how it
industry
is.
never going to change.
It's so
But-
corrupted.
but
the industry is not.
But
I can tell you that.
I know, but it
But
should
the
be, you know.
transition that I do see, right? Because I see to myself like that. Like we was talking about last week about like following stuff on Instagram and how you follow like, you know, the girls with her assets out and stuff like that.
God.
But then after a while, you kind of become numb to it. You kind of just like, dang, she looks so fake. It's not impressive anymore. Like your primitive nature's still kind of watch the video like, wow. But then after a while, it just becomes like,
You're right.
what's special about her?
I think talent would eventually, just because pretty soon you're not really not gonna have to answer nobody. Even with record labels and stuff, where everything's going streaming, so it's basically how you're not. Even though Rihanna's a terrible singer, but she's
She's not
sexy.
terrible.
Whoa,
She's terrible.
whoa, don't talk about
drinking
her like
this.
Don't
that.
have the Navy come for us, right? Don't have the Navy come
listen,
for us.
Listen, no
Don't
disrespect.
talk about Riri like that.
I seen Rihanna
I'm part of the
at the
Navy.
Barclays, and like front stage and everything. She cannot sing, but she has real sex appeal. And with sex appeal, you overlook certain things. Like, dang, man.
Maybe she had a bad day.
No,
Maybe
trust
had a
me, she
bad
cannot
day.
sing. But what I'm saying is, pretty soon, everything streaming, your talent, you're just gonna have to have talent pretty soon, because everything is streaming and the network is going different. So images is not gonna really matter. So if you're just a talented person and you got good music out, you're gonna be successful.
Yeah, like I feel like I'm gonna be honest. We're eons away before when talent is more than the imagery.
Yeah, it's gonna take a while.
But I feel like we're at the point in time where it's just like, you know what? I can look at a singer and she's not the most sexually attractive, but her talent is so, like, I love Adele. I'm a big Adele.
Beautiful.
I can't. Her tickets are so expensive. Every time I go to look for the tickets in DC, it's already at $700. I'm like, I love Adele, but I don't need Adele in that kind of way. But I say that to say the talent will surpass.
Yeah.
We still have ways to go. But I also feel like we have to tell little kids, like, look, don't fall in love with imagery that's not real.
Exactly.
We got to learn to love what's natural. Like, to me, now when I see a woman who's beautiful, have a little chichos and stuff like that, I appreciate that, right? Because I feel like that's what
the hell
God
is
gave
chichos?
her. Chichos is like
It's a-
love handles,
yeah.
little fat, and it's like Spanish for, right?
Chichos, muffin time, right?
No, not Cheetos. No.
That's what happens when you have Americans on the show.
Oh my God.
So, wait. Hold on. Let me get to. I just want to say,
Okay.
all right. I feel like it's possible we can get to the level where talent supersedes imagery, whatever.
Yeah.
But a woman, the content has to be different. Okay. First of all, because you can't be someone like Adele and trying to, portray sex and sing about just sexiness and all of that. Because then
I disagree because
no, but
big
wait,
girls
but
are
because-
having sex and all that.
Of course, no, you can speak like. Remember what Jill Scott did?
Yeah.
Shout out to
The
Jill
video
Scott.
showing her skills.
Yes, you can. If you're doing that, you can speak about it. But my thing is, if you trying to portray those certain lyrics and things like that, it's like you then asking people. Then people gonna focus more on your image.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you kind of staring them in what direction you want them to go. Do you want them to pay attention to your content, or you want them to pay attention to what you look like? You see what I'm saying? So as long as the content changes to where it is different and it's not just focusing on imagery wise. Because if you listen to content and music and stuff, it's all about how I look, what I got, how I look, what I got. You know what I'm saying?
It's the same
You're not
thing
speaking
over
about my intelligence or most of the time they speak about what they've been through, and the most rappers and singers that I can relate to most is the ones that's rapping about what they've been through, life experiences, what made you who you are. That's superficial stuff. It's
It
cloudy,
has
you know
expiration
what I mean?
dates to that.
That's what I'm saying.
All right, so now we're going to move on to the next topic. It's a little more serious, so I hope you're prepared for that.
I'm ready.
And it's called Sins of Our Past, right? Because it's a strong movement of America trying to act like the things that they were doing wrong didn't happen. They're changing our history books to kind of like, like when we had the cancel culture coming for Christopher Columbus, now they're trying to kind of change the way they do the story. Now, the latest hot topic for the presidential 2020 is reparations. How
Reparations
are we gonna handle it,
is
right?
due.
Because
Yeah.
after we bombed Japan, Japanese Americans were interned, and then when they were freed, they were given compensation. We had compensation for the Irish Americans in America and different segments of the population.
Native Americans
Native
got some
Americans
compensation?
that suffered certain,
Crazy.
injustices in the
found this out.
past. But now that people are saying, so what about the African Americans and the descendants of African Americans? Politicians are saying, well, nobody's alive that was part of that movement, so it's kind of tough to go back and retroactively,
Bullshit.
right? So so the first question is, American politicians are taking a stance that reparations aren't required because people who performed these sins aren't around. Is this privilege driven or fair? Are they allowing their privilege to be like, well, you know what? That happened in the past. We need to just forget about it and move on. But other people who had injustices in America were given not complete retribution, but given a leg up. And I feel like African Americans never had that leg up. So go ahead.
Let me start with this one. Of course, it's not fair. If you want to say something like that, it's bullshit. It's pure bullshit. Because the same people that you just spoke about that received reparations, it didn't take place against them. It took place against their ancestors, and the people who did it to them, it was ancestors.
But these people financially have benefited, and now they're
Absolutely.
reaping the benefits of that.
Absolutely.
Wow.
The thing with us, and I feel this is clear to me anyway why they teach a certain way in school. You know, why they don't teach the history of slavery the way they should, if they even mention it at all in history class. Because honestly, you look at an American history class, you would think this country was founded on just beautiful civil war, and that was it.
Yeah.
That was the only thing. Another, slavery, what was that? But until they're willing to accept and be like, we know this country was built on the back of black men, black women.
Exactly.
If you can't accept that, you of course ain't gonna want to give us any kind of reparations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like they have to come to terms with what was done, and not just say, okay, well that was done and we're sorry, but this is a reason why we have a leg up on you guys. You know what I mean? It's like it's a race. You got a 50-meter head start and a 100-meter dash.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Who's gonna win?
So what do you think about this topic? It don't necessarily
Yeah.
the reparations, but just us as a country not accepting our past and acting like they want us to acknowledge the history of us being independent and fighting Britain for our, independence of taxation without representation and stuff. But it feels like the when our hands got dirty, all of a sudden it's just like, well, let's skip over that part.
Get over
so
it.
what do you feel about that?
It's like, get over
Honestly,
it.
I feel like they dishonor your ancestors, the slaves that they built this country, the United States. They don't give them the acknowledgement that's needed. They were on their own hands and building things and were being tortured by their slave masters. And I feel like it's so an insult to you guys because it's like, oh, here's a little check. Okay, your ancestors went through all this. Can I curse?
Yeah.
Okay, they went
Haven't
through.
you heard
Nah,
me?
I know. I just want to make sure. No.
No,
FCC
people,
up in here,
but people always.
I don't want to be like, oh, fine, But no, seriously, I feel like they just disrespect you guys, your family, your ancestors, because the fact that it's like, come on, oh, here's a little lousy check. Okay, they went through it. They finally got property, and they gave them a little land, and they should be happy about it.
Even the 40 acres and a mule, that never really happened.
It's crazy. Yeah, they don't. It's just an insult to you guys.
It's like the
Just
same
you
way.
guys, you Puerto Rican,
I'm
right?
Boricua. What half? I'm mixed. Yeah.
Okay, so-
I got some in me too.
It's
yeah.
you too. Don't say you guys.
You forgive me. I didn't mean to say it that way.
But
Let me
Puerto
tell you,
Rico is
talk-
still
the
going through
Spanish
shit,
Inquisition,
right?
Yeah,
The way
yeah.
Trump, that's
Christopher
handling it, right?
Columbus.
Yeah, exactly.
Puerto Rico's still going
They
through
dissed
some
on us
shit.
Christopher
too.
Columbus is
Yeah.
bullshit.
They raped our people.
The statue,
Yeah.
and I was watching. She's Gotta Have It, and they talked about this because they went to Puerto Rico. They just put a statue, not just put it, but in by the World Trade Center or whatever, Christopher Columbus, and
50th Street. Yeah.
they was taking, because remember we went through the whole thing of them taking statues
Statues
down.
I remember
of,
that.
You know,
Yeah.
Confederates and all of that, but Christopher Columbus was on some bullshit. Like,
Man.
we celebrate him. Yeah, you
I
have
would
to
never
get the day
celebrate
off,
him.
but
Let's
it's on
Be
some
careful with
bullshit.
all the.
No, but
He's
I'm just saying, this is
That's
our
true.
history. This
That's
is the
true.
history that they teach our kids. Because they only want them to see one side.
So what do you think about America not acknowledging the sins of their past?
It's like, I mean, it's just like a situation America wants you to just go on like, oh, forget about your history, because some people to this day don't acknowledge Obama was a president for 8 years.
That's right.
So some people would not tell their kids you didn't for 8 years you didn't
Didn't
have
happen.
a
I wasn't here.
for 8 years you didn't have a president. So it's the same thing. So society, and the reason why is the school system, certain things like February is only 20 Black History Month is the shortest month. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's just,
but
it's just,
just to
all
drop a
those-
little
all
knowledge
this-
of that is it doesn't.
It doesn't play. It
It
doesn't.
felt like the shortest month, and people always joke about that. But it was the history of like Negro History Week and stuff like that. They chose Black History Month, to be honest with you, not because it was the shortest month of the year, but
Okay.
it was the month that Lincoln was born and Lincoln freed the slaves.
Oh, my
Okay.
goodness.
This,
So-
But it's just
Yeah, I remember that.
it's
Wow.
just,
But that was
it
the
should
driving
be
point of
June.
it.
But-
We got Juneteenth. I
Yes.
just celebrated.
Yes.
June. It should be
That
June.
probably should have been a selection, but
Instead
at
it's
the
Pride
time,
Month.
true.
at the
And much
time,
respect to our
they
Pride.
chose because
Okay,
Lincoln.
But
Yeah, but
it should be
But that-
June.
I wanted to say that because I've always heard that story, and it do feel like we get shortchanged.
I didn't
but it's
know.
Because
That's
Lincoln was
why they
born.
selected
But
February?
society is just more like, okay, you just gotta go with the flow. Let's
Yeah.
forget about your past. That's what I think.
So
one
the
situation
next
is.
topic on America not acknowledging their sins, right? We have been known to fund terrorists in other countries for years.
Oh, yeah.
We funded, as ironic as it is, we funded Cuba and a lot of these places before the Cold Wars and certain things like
we
that.
funded Saddam for many years.
Exactly.
We put
Even,
him in
so
power.
We fund terrorists in other countries, and now we suffer from mass shooting and pairs every couple of weeks. Is this a sign of our past as a country coming back to us? Because now the terrorists in our countries are white men with guns for a big portion of it.
Yeah.
If I may speak on this,
Yes.
Sure.
as a member of the military,
Yes.
I don't feel like the terrorist situations and stuff like that has anything to do with this here. The past, our sins of past coming back. I just feel like this is who our country is.
Yeah.
This country was founded on violence and blood and, you know, guns is a big part. The NRA is one of the most powerful organizations in this country.
That's a fact.
So, I mean, this is what we teach. We see our children. I watch my cousins play video games, and it's like, it's just violence, guns, violence,
Wow.
Black Ops,
Black
you
Ops.
know,
Yeah.
Call of Duty.
Halo, whatever. It's always somebody shooting and blowing somebody up. You know what I mean? So, like we was talking about with imagery, it doesn't matter what a person's saying to you. Well, not that it doesn't matter, but with what you're seeing, you're absorbing just the same, maybe even more so. You absorbing that, and it's like we become numb to that.
So,
And
so
these-
let me double down on what the question I'm asking, right? Because we make this big, like Bush Jr. and you know, even Trump, a big portion of their platforms were fighting terrorism, keeping terrorists out of this country, this, that, and the other. But domestic terrorism would like turning a blind eye to.
Because it looks like them. You know that. Come on,
But that's
bruh.
what I'm saying,
You
like-
know that. That we don't have a problem with the domestic terrorists because the domestic terrorists don't look like you, don't look like me. They don't look like an Indian man or the turbaner. They look like Mr. Smith down the block.
Oh my god.
You know?
So what do you
Little-
think about that? Us avoiding domestic. It's kind of a deep topic, but us
Yeah.
kind of looking the other way with domestic terrorism, but like going gun ho on terrorism outside. That looks from outsiders. What do you feel about that?
Honestly, I feel like, you know, this country is going through enough stuff as it is. And then with the things you mentioned with the Columbine and all the things with the guy that killed the kids in Connecticut.
Yeah.
That was a while back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the kids. Oh, that was terrible.
That broke me to pieces.
Yeah.
And I feel like, honestly, seeing these things now happening in our own backyard, I feel like the law enforcement is not doing anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a joke. What they do, they arrest minorities like ourselves
Yeah.
and lock us up for years. And then, you know, those, blue collar, what do you want to call them? They get a slap in the wrist. Okay, you community service, and that's about it.
Or
You
he
know?
was crazy.
Yeah.
He was troubled, right?
Yeah, I remember.
How do
That's
you
the only-
address that?
that's
when,
the only
when
time-
a person looks
Yeah.
like you, how do you address that?
And you know what it is?
You know?
The problem is, right? The fact that the person does look like them. What they do is they automatic, because they already say he had mental health. He had an
That's what I'm
illness.
saying. It's always
Because
mental health.
He had mental health issues, right?
Wow.
When me and you go out tomorrow and we go empty out of school.
We don't do that.
Oh no, we don't do that. what I'm saying is, if me and you, for example,
Yeah,
went out and
we
empty
did.
up a school, they would take two pictures where I had my hat backwards and I had my do rag
yeah,
on
with
Facebook and post it. But then the kid goes and do that in the church, and then he goes, he had mental health issues. He's never been diagnosed. Now all of a sudden you realize everything is
We pray for the victimizer then, and not the victims when it's like that.
They always say now this person hasn't been diagnosed. He had mental health issues. That's what the president come on. Oh, you know he had mental health issues. It's a big problem right now. We're not taking care of our mental health people who need that. You know, so it's just they always find an excuse to make it feel like it's not acceptable. But the problem is, we should have looked at his mental health before anything. Don't judge him on what he did.
I think also,
his mental health.
I think as a country, I think part of the school curriculum should now be mental health. I think kids should be evaluated. I think kids should come into their counselors and be like, are you being bullied? What's going on and stuff like that. I think in this country we're too reactive and not, proactive, right? We're reactive. A school got to get shot up for now the counselors to start asking kids how you doing at home, how's everything going. Why do we wait for that to happen? Why can't we be proactive about it? Make mental health a conversation that we're having.
Let me bring a point to y'all with this. Okay, the majority of people in the country at this period in time is Caucasian, white males, white females, right?
Okay.
They realize that is changing fast, right? In the next maybe 10 to 20 years, they're going to be a minority. Yeah. The majority of the country is going to be minorities as a whole, right? Yeah. So they're not going to be the overwhelming majority. What are you going to do? What would you do in that situation when you see this happening? You like in defense mode, right? You would get in defense mode because you're like, oh, the power that you've been in for so long is about to change, and you don't want to release it. So
it's very ideal, right?
You can't expose yourself.
But it's very ideal to say that, right? But in a fair economy, in a fair workplace,
fair is a place
like
where they judge pigs. This
but
is not fair.
I say that to say this, right?
Wow.
If you are skilled, if you are prepared to engage in where you want to be, you'll realize the cream rise to the top. The problem is those people. When I say those people have been operating on privilege for so long, they're uncomfortable to be like, you know what, I want to put in that same kind of work, right?
Right.
You'll hear so many supremacist people and stuff and be like, oh, why don't everybody work hard and like I worked hard? But it's just like, look at your background. You had all of these damn resources. It wasn't that hard of a work that you had.
My dad only gave me $1 million loan to get started, all right?
Exactly.
I had to work hard.
Trump's biggest thing is his dad only gave him $3 million and he built an empire. Mm-hmm. A lot of us dads gave us debt.
I wish I got that, man.
A lot of us dads gave us debt.
Shit,
a lot of us had to come on and then help our moms because our mom's been in debt all life. So I never got the mentality to focus on business. I focused on trying to get my mom's help or my little brother help.
Exactly.
I didn't have the mentality of. A lot of us had to start working when we was in high school to really pay bills, not money for our pockets.
But like I said, it's a topic that is going to be frustrating in at all times, right? But Fox 5 all the time, right? That's why I get the mental health is when the white kids do that, they automatically go, you know, he had a lot of mental health issues. Automatically, that plays a part, right?
Because when the victim
it's true, but it's not the whole story.
No, it's not the whole. It's not the story at all. It's not the story that this kid's been frustrated and he just said, today I'm going to take everybody out. It's automatic. We say mental health so everybody could feel good about themselves because they're trying to figure out what's going on. Right? But they're not going to say it on TV.
But if you say mental health, it's like, okay.
If you say mental health and explain that, now it's something where you're like, oh, yeah, we understand that. You're right. We should do it. But when me and you do it, it's more like, see, they're at it again.
He's a bad apple.
No. They're at it again. Those are the kind of words.
So let me wrap up this topic, right? Is democracy something where the lines are being blurred now, right? Because America's selling point was land of the brave, home of the free. Mm-hmm. But we don't give democracy equally to everybody in this country.
That's right.
So are we still the democratic republic that we quote unquote claim to be? What do you think?
Okay, now I gotta mention this because we were talking about these situations. I have to bring this up because have you guys seen the documentary? It was like a parts of it of When They See Us.
Yes. We've been talking about it every week.
Okay, so I had to put my
Ava DuVernay.
I didn't see all parts of it, but I saw the first part. But
it's very heartfelt and very touching. And what they did to them was very wrong. Miss Fairstein, I think.
Lisa Fairstein.
Yeah, she double crossed them and she went out and she attacked them and they had no fault whatsoever with that lady, the jogger, that happened, got raped and stuff. Mm-hmm. And I feel like what you just mentioned, I want to bring that into that, what you're asking with that, with the democracy for me and all that, because I feel like at the end of the day nobody's getting justice. Everybody's getting scrutinized, everybody's getting discriminated. Why can't we just live in life in a peace in the world? Like, let's live love, let's just have a good time, you know?
It's tough, right? Because it goes back to the privilege where it's just like when someone doesn't look like someone representing the justice system, there's no sympathy.
Exactly.
Those in power are on the defense.
Think about it.
So they're playing defense.
Just to confirm what you just said, so many times when someone of non-color creates these acts, we feel sorry for him. He was a lone wolf and stuff like that. No one says something when a minority is arrested for something. His home was broken. His dad wasn't there. His mom had drug problems. Let's feel sorry for them. We vilify that.
The problem is when somebody that happens, we don't even do the research to find out what's going on. Mm-hmm. Automatically, I'm not even gonna say these people. I'm not trying to just put it out there like that. Automatically, the research is gonna be done. When that person shoot up the church and stuff, the research is gonna be done. You're gonna know from when it started, from 10 years old, where he showed signs, and this is what happened. when stuff happens to minorities, it's just more like, yeah, like, you know, he was a troubled kid. He used to be in this gang. He used to be in that gang. The research is just not being done. So it's a sticky situation. It's one of the situations
I think democracy is one of the principles
tough.
of this country that
It's
we
tough.
don't uphold to. It's very so we're coming towards the end of the show. We're gonna do the last topic, and then we're gonna give you a chance to plug yourself again.
No
Let
problem.
people know your social medias, how they can reach out to yourself.
Yeah.
So this topic is called "If You Owe Me, Pay Me." Right?
Ooh, sounds good.
Let me start this one. Let the
Right,
guest start.
and because we've known for a long time, right? I'll even let you run point guard on this, right?
Okay.
But a lot of times, and like he said, 50 Cent has this movement where it's just like, if you owe
IG.
50 Cent, he letting you know, right? So go ahead, run point guard on that.
Yeah, no, with 50's whole thing on IG and social media, like, people don't want to owe him. If you owe him money, he gonna expose you, put you on blast.
And we
He
go
was
through
like-
that with our friends too. I have friends right now ducking me over money, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
it
you know
feels
firsthand.
awkward.
I think we all know firsthand whether you loan money to somebody or, you know, even if you borrow money. So the first question under this topic is, what is the most money you feel comfortable loaning someone? We need quick answers because we get to the end of the show. Just
$5.
that's the
Really?
most money you can loan.
Listen, man, they gotta pay me
Times is
back.
hard.
Yo,
Recession,
right now, my limit used to be, I can loan someone close to me like $500. Okay. But then I just realized, like, yo, that's almost a car payment for me. Now I can only give you $1. If you need more than $1, you got to go to somebody else.
When it comes to family,
$1 is $100 for not
I'm like,
$1.
wait,
No,
when
$100.
when it comes to family, I can do about $3K.
Yeah.
Right?
That's family.
Balling.
No, it's not about being balling. I can do about $3K. With friends, I don't let friends hold money like that because it's a sticky situation. Because the problem is sometimes you might let a friend hold it and then he want to move the same way you move it and you forgot he owe you that money. Yeah. So I don't lend money if I know I can't afford to get it back.
Yes, that's the key.
That's what
That's the
I
key.
don't lend the money if I can't
It can
afford
be
to
even
get back.
stickier
So,
with family, though.
3K is enough money. No, 3K is enough money where I can wipe my hands with you
And y'all-
and then and say like this.
And that's why our pockets is different, right? Because he said $3K.
Uh-oh.
Me, it's $100. $100 is a nice
Listen.
date between me and my wife.
No.
So
Oh
when you owe me $100 and you don't pay me, I'm like, shit. Me and my wife can't go out one time.
My thing is,
Over
my
that,
thing
it
is
bothers me.
just
Go
like
ahead.
what Cliff said. My mother taught me this. You never loan somebody more than you can afford to lose.
That's a fact.
Okay?
Yeah.
So because there is always the event that they can't pay you back or won't pay you back. And then what you doing? I'm just paying to get rid of you. That was my payment to get rid of you.
Yeah.
You can't pay me back, I pay to get rid of you.
My biggest thing is when you borrow the money with a different energy that you want to pay me back with.
That's always the case.
That's
love
always
how-
the case.
If you
But
if you came to me humble
Yeah.
to borrow the money, even if you don't have the money yet, still keep that same humbleness. Don't be,
not even-
you're stinking $100.
No,
it wasn't stinking
no,
when you asked
not
to borrow
even
it.
that. You shouldn't let anybody hold the money if you can't lose it. So don't let nobody hold the money if you know it's gonna hurt you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Only let the money know that take it as a loss if you're not getting it back.
The worst thing is when people want to count your money, be like, you don't need that money. Why are you stressing me over it?
Oh, wow.
Was I donated that
Go
money
ahead,
or
go
did I
ahead.
work for that money? But go ahead.
My favorite one is when you see them like in the hood. Oh yeah, I'll pay you next week, and they be with the jewelry up the ass, and you're like, yo, bro, I was my last $10. I gotta take the train. I got you next week.
Now I'm gonna start
I don't know
saying,
what
like,
you're
yo,
back
I
to.
need to hold that chain until you get my money
Exactly,
back.
yeah.
That's gonna be my new thing. I'm gonna be a
Collateral.
pawnbroker. Let me hold that watch until you give me that money
Yeah,
back.
no, you're right, you're right, you're right.
All right, all right.
That made him bring all his stuff back.
Okay.
Quick answers
Oh
here.
my god.
All right.
Okay.
All right, so what's the most money you borrowed from someone, not the bank?
I bought $1,000 from my mom,
Okay.
but I paid her back.
Go ahead, dude.
I think like 200, but I did pay back eventually, increments.
I had someone I invested with them like 6 G's, and then they paid me back like $500 a month for like a long ass time.
Damn.
That shit screwed me, right? Because the 6 G's straight up was supposed to make a move. That $500 a month,
Yo, that's crazy.
He's still mad about that.
you blow that. You blow
Talking
that.
about it, yeah.
No,
man, yeah.
I think I borrowed like $500. I paid it back. Yeah, $500 is the most I
I borrowed about 800 to 1,000. It was right before I was going to Hawaii, out in the Bronx. They put a boot on my goddamn car, literally days before I was supposed to leave. And someone, she knows who she is, hooked me up with the little loan. I got it back to her within a week. But the fact that I was like, yo, I don't like to borrow money.
Yeah, because
I do not like to. I don't like to owe people.
Because
but if I borrow money, you know you're gonna get it back quickly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And shout out to my grandma. Grandma's the worst person to owe. Grandma's worse than the bank.
They will remind you.
But she'll give it to you, no problem. But getting it back, yo, I be ducking grandma like, I'll get you. I'll let you, grandma. I'll get you next week. I want to know.
Ask your last question so that we can wrap
All
up.
right, so yeah, the last one on this topic. Who was the worst person you borrowed money from and why? I just expressed who it was. But
To be honest with you, anybody who knows me know I'm a sensitive person. So I have never borrowed money from anyone that made me feel bad about it. Because anyone knows me like, yo, I will not eat to make sure I got your money back and then I can be comfortable. Last thing I want to be is like, I'm at a restaurant. You like, yo, why you at such? You should be at McDonald's so you can get my money back. I don't want to be clocked.
Wow.
What about you?
My ex-mother-in-law, she kept hangering me on Facebook. Yo, when you gonna pay me back? And I'm like,
Facebook?
On Facebook. And I'm like, and then she started putting posters. And I'm like, can you? I'm sorry.
wow.
Can you like not really put my business out there? Like it's a thing called inbox. You know?
See?
Yeah.
You see?
Never
we
again.
live in what they call receipt culture. Where people will try to publish receipts to make you look bad. What about you?
I don't borrow. Like honestly, I think the only person I would borrow money from was my brother, but I haven't borrowed money from somebody in a long time.
Yeah, you've been. That's a blessing. Son.
good.
That's a
You
blessing
got
to
to.
be in that situation. You know.
Awesome.
So that's going to wrap up the regular portion of the show. We want to give her a G.
Aw.
Divas and Diamonds on Instagram.
Can I ask her a question?
Yeah, sure.
Sure, yeah.
Can you display some of your talent? Or
See,
do you
I
wanna-
knew, so I was like waiting for this moment.
I mean,
Yeah.
listen. Just a
some
little
of
bit,
it,
a
they
little
don't have to be on
bit.
the
Yeah,
topic. It
it
could be
a little
written, you
bit.
know, whatever you got.
Okay, and
Just let the
Display
people
some of
see
your
it.
talent so people can hear.
Ooh, okay, no music, so just straight acapella.
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 I got this one for you guys. It's a slow jam. It's called Summertime.
Okay.
It's a jazz song. All right,
Okay.
you guys ready?
Yeah.
Okay. Summer time and the living is easy. Fish are jumping and the cotton is high. Your mama's rich and your daddy's handsome. I messed it up. So hush, little baby, and don't you
That's right. Go ahead.
cry. Thank you.
Yeah. And you know, I want to give you props on.
You see how?
Because we got to see the range.
Yeah.
You didn't get to warm up.
Nah,
You didn't drink no juice.
No.
I give you props for that.
Liquor, baby.
I give you props for that. I give you props for that.
Thank you, baby.
Okay.
Thank you,
Okay.
son.
You see, sometimes you gotta be put on the spot.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I was waiting. I was like,
I was
Because-
coming after you.
And let me tell you why I didn't do that, right? Because singing, I know you need preparation and
Yeah,
stuff like
vocal.
that. It's when we have hip hop artists, it's easy for me to tell them like, "Yo, spit 16" because that's just regular voice.
Exactly.
But singing,
I had
you got
to.
it. But
I
you
had
did it.
to.
You did it.
Good
I
job.
appreciate
Well,
that. I
thank
appreciate
you.
that. I should let them know.
I love it. Support.
Thank
Yeah, yeah.
Much
yeah,
love
yeah.
it.
But
Oh, yes.
you plug your stuff before
Okay.
we head out.
Okay, so quickly, this is my debut album. It's been like over a year ago. Big shout out to my music producer, Q Breeze. We worked on this amazing album. It's called Trials and Tribulations. Everybody's watching on. Check it out right now.
Yeah.
Point it to the screen so everybody can
That's
see it.
right.
Yeah.
It's
Well, she
listen.
put it to her camera.
Okay.
I'm doing it 50 cent status, so I don't have a car. But if you want to hit me up on all my information, I could definitely hand it to you in person, so all that good stuff.
Yeah.
Again, guys, we have July 10th, the Vero G Spotlight TV show is
Yeah.
the taping, and we're so honored. And August 17th, the West End Lounge. Check that out, guys, if you're interested for the cipher or for the just regular showcase we have.
Yeah.
Also, Broken Dreams. A big shout out to Real Lyrics. We just did that video about domestic violence.
Yeah.
And you got to check it out. We have over 2.k views on that alone.
Yeah.
I loved it. Also, check out Coming From Mine, which is my latest single from my coming album, sophomore album,
Yeah.
which is coming this year. The Rise of Vero Jim's saying a lot right now, right?
Yeah.
And he's like,
Go
whoa.
ahead.
No,
Yeah.
do your thing.
I'm like trying to
Time.
squeeze everything in. But it's coming this year. Check it out. It's a big shout out to Scarface. That's my main. I love that movie, by that way. So yeah, it's
Love
over.
Scarface.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, it's over 3.5K views on Facebook. YouTube. Forgive me. So you guys gotta check it out. My YouTube channel, real quickly, social media now, is VERO2884 or Vero G Music on YouTube. My Facebook, you guys know already. Artist page Vero G.
Yeah.
I'll just check my website, www.verogmusic.com altogether. Also, I'm honored to be the brand ambassador for so many people, but one of them is www.beoriginalwear.com. I'm one of the brand ambassadors, and he is my merchandise there. So check it out, guys. I love you all.
yes.
My motto is always believe in yourself, and thank you guys so much again.
Definitely.
And big shout out to you and my son, my management. I love you all.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. What about you, Cliff? Give a shout out before we head out.
Just shout out to everybody who's supporting us. You know, we had a big week this week, Charlamagne and God. Plugging the
Word.
plugging the podcast, but
Black
you know
men
what?
don't cheat.
You know what it is?
Yeah,
It's not even about the plug. It's just a matter of hard work and dedication. Just keep working hard because somebody's gonna believe in you.
Exactly.
That's what I think.
That's right.
Yeah, it's good to be seen, you know. So it's glad that we were seen by Charlamagne and by all of the people that watch us. We appreciate y'all. Shout out to my cousin. We're going to try to get him on the show soon. Showtime.
Aww.
He has an album out called Love Truth. Look it up. R&B singer. He's doing his thing. We had a video shoot a couple weeks ago out at the crib. That's it, man. People just keep doing what you're doing. Come, tune into us so we can show you that love y'all need and put y'all on to what's going on.
So I just want to say, like I always say, shout out to everybody support us. Shout out to everyone who has a dream and they're chasing a dream. And like God has a funny way of showing you like keep working, right? Like I said, like Clifford mentioned, the plug from Charlamagne the God, and it was just something simple of like me tagging him to something that we were talking about, and he loved the conversation, and he doubled down, right? So he shared the conversation on his story, and then the next day he brought it to the radio, right? No plug. I didn't give him no money or nothing like
That's
that.
what my sister asked. She was like, y'all paid her?
No money, no plug. It's
Peola.
genuine. Hold on, let me finish that. It's genuine love. He felt what we was doing. He felt the energy of the conversation that we was having, and he's like, yo.
That's what
He even didn't remember the name of the podcast, but he took effort to look for it to give us a shout out. That shows you God was just like, yo, give them that push.
Yeah.
And even if a million people don't come to know what we're doing, God gave us that time to say, look, keep working. I see what you're doing. Go ahead, because we're running over time.
No, just thank you for the artists. I put the artists on the spot. Your voice sound amazing.
Yes.
Amazing.
Support. And then like I said, we're just trying to build a brand and then just support us every week. Thank you for everybody for
Just
tuning
keep
in.
working, everybody. We out. Views from the Friend Zone. Peace.
Bye. I don't know.
Views from the friend zone. I'm trying to reach the end zone. You think I'm kinda sweet and you wanna be friends though? It's cool though. Just don't try to play me for no fool, yo. Views from the friend zone. I'm trying to reach the end zone. You think I'm kinda sweet and you wanna be friends though? It's cool though. Just don't try to play me for no fool, yo. Welcome to another edition of the View.
Okay, careful, guys. Yeah.
So we can kind of see the on air. So we'll split, right? We'll split. You come with me.
Okay.
He's gonna let us see the on air.
Oh, okay, wait.
And he's gonna go from here.
I'm just here, man. Okay, so just going on with it.
You can make sure you see the scene.
Do this thing, yeah.
4, 3, 2. I'm getting a couple for y'all.
Oh, word. Okay.
It's my angles. Cool.
Thank you.
Yes. Tell me.
So
An honor,
we
guys.
didn't drink
definitely.
enough of this.
Oh man.
Take some. You can take it with you.
Yes, you can. Oh,
Yes,
this
yes,
is
yes.
really good. Oh, the top. Yeah. I'll be in the train. Excuse me, ma'am. You got some liquor? No, I do not. That's some water. Oh, this I don't know.
I don't even know.
Wait, how do you do this? Wait.
Push it back.
Oh, Jesus. Wait. Okay, I'm not a pro in this.
I'm trying to think. Yo, Mike, how do you think we could do this to
What's up?
so she could take that with her?
Nah, you gonna have to.